frontier.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following podcast is Wrestling Daft and is scheduled for 1 hour. Maybe more. It has no real time limits, making their way into your ears. First, from a place called Barneston, he is the Pyramid. FLORENCE!
It's going to be the funniest show ever because I'm all about the comedy and the money, baby.
How much you can pay?
And his partner, Fela Top End of Stevenson.
From Mexico City to Beef Community Centre, I've got stories that are going to blow your mind.
Hello and welcome to Wrestling Daft. My name's Florence, and oh man, the lockdown continues, but I'm joined by my beautiful buddy here, Grado, sitting there across the virtual table with me. How you doing, Grado?
I'm alright. I mean, I'm a wee bit gutted. I just went and scrolled through Twitter there, and apparently Burleson has just pipped 2 doors down to the best comedy. But do you know what? I'm going to be with the better man and say, well done, mate. Congratulations on winning the best comedy award.
Best comedy at the RTS Awards. Thanks very much. What I heard was it wasn't really a pip. It was by a mile, is what I heard.
Right. Well, that just shows you. How many episodes did you do?
One episode.
One episode, mate. So what? Would it take you a week?
Look, never you mind. No, thanks very much. Award shows are a lot of nonsense, though. I think everybody should win. Everybody should win the prize. And hey, let's say there's something else is important. It was a certain, as we're recording this just now, it's a Wednesday. I know this show goes out on Friday, but yesterday, was your birthday, Grado.
It sure was, yeah.
Happy birthday to you, brother. What did you do? Did you do anything special?
Done radio in the morning. I went and worked in the front line for a couple of hours, come back up the road, and that was about it, mate. I had a steak for my dinner. My girlfriend cooked me a lovely steak. I got a message. Aye. I got a wallet, mate.
A wallet? A new wallet? Nice.
Aye. At least fancy one, man. So, aye, it was good, mate. Then I got a text for the WWE champ, happy birthday. And I thought to myself, that's funny. WWE champion wishing me happy birthday on my birthday. It was Drew, but you know what I'm saying. But that's funny, just like things like that, you just go, fuck, he's the WWE champion.
What age do you know, man?
32, mate. Devastated, 32. Man. Do you remember when you were 32?
Oh, it was a long time ago, mate. 10 years ago for me. 32. It's a,
10 years apart?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
You're just a kid, mate.
All this shit going up for a pee in the middle of the night. That's all started happening. You don't do that, no?
Yeah, fuck. I don't pee in the middle of the night, no. Just pee in bed. Just pee in bed, mate. You get 42. Just get the rubber sheets on. No, I don't. You don't need to worry about any of that. You need to take a look at that, mate.
Grey hairs.
Right. Let's move on. Oh, nae hairs, mate. Nae hairs. Try that. So last week, we want to keep this episode, we want to belt through this episode because we have got a fantastic interview for you. We get Sha Samuels back on the show, friend of the show, Sha Samuels back on the show, and we have getting the full lowdown on the World of Sport saga when World of Sport came back to ITV. I thought it was time to finally get the story out of Sha and Grado, two people who were on the front line of that thing, to find out what happened with World of Sport. So you find out on this show. So we'll keep everything else brief because you're going to find out some stuff in this episode, let me tell you. All right, Grado.
Aye, no, definitely want to get the World of Sport story out there because there's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know. And I just tried my hardest to get that show on the telly. Tried my hardest, so whatever it took, I wanted it to be on TV. Obviously, it had its ups and its downs, and then obviously in the end up we had a series, but that's 2 years ago. AEW's on ITV, so we just talk about how it came about, who contacted us, what happened.
Don't spoil it. Any spoilers, mate?
You're going to if you've never this is probably not been told anywhere, so. I'd like to think this is probably one time we really actually do have a mega exclusive.
This is an exclusive.
Yep.
Now, last week, Danilo, if you remember, one of your great listeners, challenged the Wrestling Daft audience to ask a non-wrestling fan to form a 6-person stable for wrestlers that they'd heard of, right? So Rod Zilla got in touch. His partner, Lois Jane, goes The Rock, Hulk Hogan, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, Ronda Rousey, and Roman Reigns. That's a good wee stable, that, isn't it?
That's all right. I mean, if somebody that they don't like wrestling, these people.
Well, it's people that don't really know wrestling, so it's just like the ones that have heard it. Ben get in touch, and his wife, in reverse order, right, says Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Kylo the Cat's dad, that's Zack Ryder, the vegan one, Daniel Bryan, Kevin the Vampire, Kevin Thorne.
You must have seen him in there.
Yeah, and New Day missed the cut as they count as 4 people if you include their trumpet and trombone. So there you go. It was a good attempt there at remembering Kylo the Cat's dad. So Zack Ryder got a cat called Kylo?
I mean, I don't know that. Is Jungle Jack Perry the guy, Matthew Perry's boy?
Aye,
obviously.
AEW.
Right.
Haggis Head Helmsley got in touch and said that his partner says The Rock, Jeff Hardy, Kane, Undertaker, Finn, the Irish guy with the body, and Hacksaw Jim Slaughter.
I was actually thinking Finlay, but then I realised she means Finn Balor, aye.
And the current Wrestling Daft champion, Jordy Coyle, asked his girlfriend, and she replied, Bret Hart, obviously. Then the T-shirt one I bought you, the Heartbreak Kid. You know his name? Not, is that AJ Styles? She says not. Then she said AJ Styles. Then Rey Mysterio as Leia, their daughter, never took the mask off. CM Punk and the one with the bellas. Daniel Bryan.
See, the bellas had a big impact on folk. I remember my sister, who's never seen wrestling in her life, asking me if I knew Paige. And I was like, aye, how do you know Paige? You know what I mean? That did have a big crossover, that show.
It did.
It really did, but it's total bellas now and it's shite, innit?
Mine, Grado, you were asking last week what channel WCW was on back in the day on a Friday night. Alan get in touch to answer this, saying that Nitro was in TNT on Fridays at 9, and then Raw was on Sky Sports at 10, and Bravo started showing ECW Hardcore TV.
Now that is true to an extent, but I know that in its dying days, WCW was deaf. The night that WWF bought over WCW, that was on Bravo, because I still have the tape. But I was just wanting to clear up if it was TNT.
Okay.
Definitely. In fact, I think they actually showed it on a Thursday. I could be wrong. You could correct me on that. If somebody wants to defo confirm that WCW was defo on Bravo, I'm sure it was.
This is dramatic. I can't wait to find out. So we were wanting to know if you've ever been abused by a wrestler as well. What we mean by that is if you've ever had some abuse by a wrestler. We're heading into dangerous territory there, asking if you've ever been abused by a wrestler. Don't laugh. Spray Paint Scott got in touch and said he was incredibly drunk at an early OTT show and was slowly chanting steroids at John Moss, right? Johnny Moss, Big Mossy. He was getting really pissed off at one stage and stared at me, and I nearly shat myself, and then he then shouted hemorrhoids at me.
Aye. Mossy's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet, and he would have been lapping that up that you were shouting Mossy steroids at him. He wouldn't have took that to heart. He would have loved that as a good bit. That's fucking funny. Hemorrhoids.
When we did the show at Kelvin Brawl, Kelvin Hall, we had big Johnny Moss in the mix, and I remember what a sweet guy Johnny Moss is. And after the event, he texted the next day, and he just said, go in touch and say, oh, the event was so great, I had so much fun at it, and all that was brilliant. And he says, but here's a few tips. If you were to do another show, here's a few things that could be done differently, he said in the text. And laid out all these wee things that he thought this, he thought that, and all brilliant points, brilliant. But I just thought it was really sweet of the guy to be like, thanks so much, had a great time. He was an absolute gentleman on that night of the show as well. Backstage, he was like an absolute dream. But also to even bother the next day to get in touch and go, look, here's a few things you could try, you could do this, you could do that. Brilliant guy.
He is great, and that's one of the reasons why he's at the Performance Centre now, isn't it, really?
Yeah, just a guy that loves wrestling. Thomas, get in touch, says, my mate Michael was getting Jack Jester abuse at a show until he clocked him. Quickly clamped him after that. After Big Jester clocked him, man, with the eyes. He's mad eyes, man.
That's like what a lot of my family always say. Who's the guy with the eye? Who's him with the eye? Him with the eye, I like him.
Jester's got his back turned. He's like, who's that? He's a good-looking guy with that kind of black hair. It must be his natural colour, that black hair. That looks good. That black beard, that's his natural black beard. Look at him. It looks good, and then he turns. You see the eye, man. He's shrinking. Hemorrhoids. He shouted. Lungy says, when I was a kid, I saw Giant Haystacks wrestle and I went to ask for his autograph, and he took a lolly he was sucking out his mouth and threw it square off my forehead.
That's fucking great.
That's what I want. I remember when I was a wee guy.
Right, we've got stories all.
Sorry, when I was a wee guy, I remember I was watching wrestling at Blackpool or something like that, and there was a guy, a kind of guy. It was about maybe 10 years older than me. He must have been like, I think at the time I must have been about 14. This guy must have been at 24, and he was saying that when he was a wee boy, he was at a hang with his dad, and they saw Mick McManus wrestling for World of Sport, and he says that after the show they went out and Mick McManus was there, and they went up to get an autograph off Mick McManus, and Mick McManus just pulled his fag out his mouth and flung his fag at them. Wee guy.
I love that.
That's year one. That's old school.
I mean, I remember. Did you ever go into the tribute shows, Rob?
Nah.
No, you want to? I mean, I went to one in Irvine. They used Klondike Kate. You remember Klondike?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's lost so much weight now, but she was used in the 80s, the 90s, and she was a scary woman.
Aye.
I mean, short, but man, fucking massive. And I remember having a tub of popcorn. I think I must have been about 10, 11 at the Irvine Magnum at one of these tribute shows, and I fucking scudded a bit of popcorn off her head. And she was fucking raging. She moved the barriers, started to walk towards me. Didn't run, done that slow walk. I mean, I bailed, man. And I always remember that. And I remember meeting her at a show later on in life when I was wrestling, and she's the nicest woman in the planet. She couldn't remember it, but wee things like that stuck in my mind. I mean, I shat myself there.
Sweet. I love stories like that. Stuart Barnes says, one night at the garage, my pal was signalling Layla Rose to come down for the balcony for a chat. She came down. He went out, came back a minute later, and he said, if I look at her again, she'll kick fuck at me.
Look at me again, I'll kick fuck at you.
Have you ever done anything you regret to a member of the audience or anything? Grado at a match?
I remember, I've told you the goat story, ain't I?
I don't know.
No. Yeah. No, they should have fucking, I remember there was a guy in the crowd that had Grado as goat. In the crowd. Now, I had no idea that meant greatest of all time. So I fucking made my entrance and saw that sign and went, yeah, fucking cheeky bastard. I thought he was like calling me like a goat. I thought, fucking prick. So, I mean, it was a kind of, I think it was a kind of dark match type thing. So I remember just going up to the crowd and just fucking get right in his, you see smiling, I'm wondering why he's smiling. I fucking gave him the finger right to his face and everything. I'm going, yeah, fucking prick. Yeah, pricky. And then I got backstage, man. I'm like, some cunt out there calling me a goat. Like, yeah, man, greatest of all time. I felt terrible, man.
If you want to get in touch with us about any of that or just random wrestling related stuff, get us on Twitter at Wrestling Daft or Insta at Wrestling Daft Podcast or just Wrestling Daft on Facebook or email wrestlingdaft@gmail.com. Now, every week we like to separate the good for the bad in wrestling. The Chewbaccas for the Jar Jar Binks, the purple wine gums. We said that last week, didn't we? Every week we like to separate the good for the bad in wrestling. The purple wine gums for the green wine gums, or the black wine gums, or the whatever producer John was saying on Twitter today. He's putting his own into these intros. He's putting his own opinions on things about favourite flavour of wine gums. I don't know what to do with this guy.
Right, Rab, you can write them from now on. You're right.
No, I don't know what to do with this guy. No, I enjoy seeing
comedy,
your
right?
opinions.
I enjoy.
No, it's not about that. I enjoy seeing your opinions on this. What you want to bury, Grado?
Oh, I know what I'm burying. The WWE Network. Tell you the reason why. Because I have watched this fucking Undertaker documentary week after week after week. And obviously Sunday was a very sunny day. I was out my back door, drinking, all the rest of it. I says, I'll leave the Undertaker documentary that's due today to tomorrow. So I had a full night Sunday night, can't wait to tomorrow. No, I've got my girlfriend into it as well. She's actually watched it because she likes the kind of documentary style stuff. Aye. And waking up Monday morning and fucking going to watch it, and it's fucking on to the middle of June. What's that all about? What is that all about? Is that because they want? The next episode isn't to the middle of June. So I'm taking it that's to try and pull folks, stop folks cancelling their subscriptions, trying to rip the arse right out it. I just thought that was shocking. Absolutely shocking way to treat your consumers.
Do you know what it'll be? the WWE have just offered part of the network for free. So I wonder if it's something to do with that, because they put it on free and then they'll then start teasing it up on the free version, so you then buy.
I saw that, because what you're getting in the free version, you're getting total bellies and all that shit, aren't you? You're getting all that stuff for free, aren't you?
Aye, table of three and all that ride along stuff that they do. Aye.
So that's all I really wanted to bury me, because I fucking was so excited for watching the third, because I think this episode was the Goldberg episode where he wrestles Goldberg in it was fucking Saudi Arabia or whatever it was. So I was gutted at that, mate. And put over a fucking idea, man.
There you go. That's a hell of a rant, that. Fuck's sake.
Sorry.
For a thing that costs just $10 a month today, and in fact might be free at the minute. I don't know. So, who am I wanting to bury? Am I wanting to bury anything? I don't think I want to bury anything. Obviously, there's been some wrestlers just being a bit daft in there online and stuff like that, with everything that's going on with the situation that's happening just now in America and stuff like that, and the protesting, and there's just some wrestlers just sticking their oar in and just saying stupid things and all that. But wrestlers always say stupid things. I'm not going to bury anybody for it, because some wrestlers are, wrestling is you get a wide array of different personalities and people of different political leanings and stuff like that. It's as wide as the world, wrestling, you know what I mean? So you're always going to get, if you're going to start burying people, you're going to be fucking burying everybody, you know what I mean? Right. Let's see what Louisa's got to say. She says, I want to bury and put over the use of the use of Jeff Hardy's drunken disorderly storyline in WWE for two reasons. Interesting. Was it bury the fact that WWE even used it because of Jeff Hardy's history? She wants to put over the use of the WWE hacker and how he or she will get Jeff off the hook. How do you feel about that? Them using Jeff's real life issues in a storyline.
I've no idea if Jeff is completely comfortable with it. I mean, I'm sure he's got to that point in his career where he can really flat out refuse stuff. But the only thing I heard about that, it was, I like to listen to Cornette, and he was going on about how the polis that they used, they try to make it as real as possible, but the polis were saying shit to Jeff like, "Come on, you're going downtown. You're coming downtown for questioning," And Trump, fucking Cornette was basically Cornette was basically saying, "Look, this isn't what the fuck. If you've ever been arrested, the police don't fucking say."
He'd know, Cornette.
He's been fucking arrested enough times to know that the police don't use that power. I've not actually seen it. I'm interested to see it, but I'm surprised with it as well that they want to go down that road and show. But you know what? They've done it before with TNA. They've done it. Remember after his stuff with Sting. They put that in their storyline, so I don't know if he wants to keep it, if he's comfortable.
It's his thing. I think it's his thing. He's a complicated individual, right? He's always been sold like that, Jeff Hardy, right? He's a complicated guy with complex issues and stuff like that. And I'm sure if they're doing a storyline like that, I would imagine anyway that Jeff is across it and is fine with it. Bronzello wants to put our NXT cage fight for last Wednesday and the announcement of Riddle to SmackDown, the Inner Circle pep rally, and the ending pull apart. Barry, not a lot, great week of wrestling. Not a lot, great in this week. Not a great week of wrestling, sorry. He wants to Barry, not a lot, a great week. Sorry. He wants to Barry, not a great week of wrestling, but the lack of hoop talk on this show lately. Grado, how's the hoop going?
That's a great question. I would say that my arse ruined my birthday because I got home from my work and I just couldn't shite. But what I could do was fart. I was letting off, and it was they kind of no well farts. So I'm with my bud, and basically I had to get up every 5 or 6 minutes to stick my arse out into the hallway to do a fart, and then jump back into bed because the farts were that stinking. I didn't want to gear the boat because it was embarrassing. We've been with each other for a year, but I still don't like to fart like that in front of my bud. So
but you're fine with talking about it in front of a massive audience.
I mean, I don't care. I'm fine with that. I don't. As I say, if people are interested, mate, look, you see, there's some country into it. There you go. They want to know the down about my hoop. My hoop played up on my birthday and was a major part of me not enjoying my birthday as much as I should have. There you go.
Sorry, your arse ruined your birthday. Right, mate. Makes me feel sad. Andy Lang. Oh,
yeah, but let me say one thing. One funny thing, right? The funniest thing I've ever seen in my life is somebody telling their ass to fuck off. I used to room with Jeremy Borash, right? And he's got IBS as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now and again we were prone to a flare-up. One is, and the funniest thing I've ever witnessed in my life, he kept he farted all night, right? And I'm not selling it because I don't want to embarrass the boy, right? It's and I'm, as I say, I'm saying I don't want to embarrass him, but it got to the point, and he went, "Fuck off!" to his ass. Fuck off! And somebody telling their ass to fuck off. Fuck off! So much fucking hatred, man. Just fuck off! It's the fucking funniest thing I've ever fucking seen.
Andy Lang wants to put all the reintroduction of Dominic Mysterio to our screens as an element to what could just be a retirement angle. Would love to see him in the ring at some point. Better frog splash than his old boy last year. Dominic, guys, Dominic's back in the picture.
So is he wrestling?
Well,
what does he wear?
He's just like a big boy, isn't he? He's no like, he doesn't wear.
Is he in matches?
No, he's just hovering about this storyline now. Where Rey Mysterio is supposedly retiring. We'll see what happens.
Right. Okay. Sorry, mate.
Fuck off with your mouth. Sean wants to put all that company Grado used to work for. Who was that again? Was it
5-Star Wrestling?
For that cracking wee promo they did for Slammiversary. Burying WWE Hall of Famer Donald Trump for being a mad fascist. He was a effing waste of S-P-U-N-K.
Why are you spelling it out?
Because it's disgusting. That's why I'm spelling it out. That is why I'm spelling it out. So the Slammiversary promo, I believe, was that the one that we were discussing?
I think it was just out last night or something. Was it just recently with it's the one I think they're talking about where it's just went breaking news, releases and all this. It's like a newscaster and it cuts to EC3, Eric Young, Spud, Luke Gallows, Carol Anderson. Have you seen it?
No, I don't think I have seen it.
I think that's a different one, Grady, because that's kind of. I think that's teasing who they're about to sign. And there's lots of things online try to guess who it is.
But it would have been.
I don't know, mate, because it is. No. It's the teasing who's going to be at Slammiversary. It's a Slammiversary promo.
But would it have been David Sahadi that produced it though? Probably.
It would have been probably him or Eric Tompkins.
Who we had
I'm
obviously
sure that's
on this show, and that was one of my favourite interviews we've ever done. Was that Sahadi one? So if you've heard that David Sahadi episode, you need to go back because I think if you go back and listen to that one, you'll realise that David Sahadi is responsible for a lot of your greatest memories when it comes to wrestling. Big Money wants to bury green wine gums. Overrated as fuck, politicking to keep black wine gums at the bottom of the card despite their big flavour change a few years ago. What is going on here? There's some kind of in-joke happening here that I'm not aware of.
I don't remember.
Is this something for the Marks podcast?
Is this something for the Marks podcast?
No. This was kind of put over on the tweet when I always put over something, what do you want to bury or put over? And I thought, okay. Separate the black wine gums from the green wine gums.
Right.
And Big love. All right, John. And Big Money wants to put out Apollo Crews' new Raw push. Slowly getting better at promos and a really good wrestler. Hope it goes well for him. Apollo Crews, what do you think, Grado?
Lovely guy. Uha Nation. I remember him on the scene a couple of years ago.
You must have worked with him. You must have been on shows with him a lot.
I was on with him in Dumbarton. I was on him in Preston a number of times. Just a cracking big guy, man, and the way he can jump about the ring. He's great. I thought he'd been released, man. I feel bad, you know what I mean?
No, he's getting the push now. Andy 5088 wants to bury the Jeff Hardy storyline. They did the same stuff with Scott Hall. Horrible taste. When we talk about realistic stories, that's not what we mean.
What do you want then?
Good point.
I don't know. Do we want realistic stories? I don't know.
I don't think we want realistic stories.
I don't want realistic stories. A realistic story is somebody fucking not getting their shopping.
I don't want. Remember, I've told you many a times that Hustle in Japan was one of my favourite wrestling promotions, and I told you about that time Yinling, the big egg, laid an egg after she get the mist.
So you loved it.
Stuff. That's what I'm wanting.
Mm-hmm.
Andy wants to put over the NXT fight pit. Crazy that it's 2020 and people are still coming up with new and interesting gimmick matches.
Cornette put that over this week on his podcast as well. That was exactly what he said. He said it's finally somebody comes up with something that's original. I don't know what it is. You want to
I've not seen it. I've not seen it.
It looks great. Basically, it is like a cage, but they've taken the ropes away, so it's just a pure cage. And then you can't win by getting over it. You have to tap them out or give them knock them out with a 10 count. And they put like a balcony around the cage as well, so you can do big high spots on the balcony. It looks really, really good.
Is it
Like
just
a
a
rope.
cage? It's just a cage?
No, because it's totally because they've taken. There's no ropes, there's no turnbuckles.
I need to Google it.
And like I say, it's got a platform.
What is it called? A fire pit?
It's called the Fight Pit, Grado. It's called the Fight Pit.
So it is basically just like a cage match, like cage fighting, like cage fighting.
Oh, aye, that's how they went around it. I think it'll be probably. I think it will go on to be like NXT's version of Hell in the Cell. The way they kind of put it over.
Oh wow, it's quite scaffolding, isn't it?
I'm going to have to look at a picture of it as well. Sorry, folks. I know this is bad podcast stuff, but I'm going to go and look at a picture of this.
I like it to be realistic, so we're branding it, mate. Oh, aye.
I better like it, or I'm going to say fight pit, shite pit, more like.
I mean, I just don't like when they try and cross over the kind of MMA stuff with the wrestling. I just keep that.
It made sense because it was Riddle's last match in NXT. He was fighting.
Well, it mid make sense to you.
Oh, right, it doesn't make sense to me. He was fighting Timothy
John, you're
Thatcher.
not a wrestler. Don't you ever fucking tell Grado that it makes sense, right? He's been in the squared circle. He's fucking lived, breathed, bled, sweated inside the squared circle. Don't you fucking tell him it makes sense.
Correct.
Sorry, Grado.
All these messing about things. Remember when they fucking turned the ring back into six-sided at TNA? I mean, I struggled with fucking 4, never mind 6 fucking sides.
No, the fight pit's pretty cool, but
it's all right, mate.
It looks like they're just playing to the MMA audience. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Or
A lot of fucking thigh slapping then will be going on.
Or the weirdos. Right, so who else? One more. Let's do one more. Or Paddy the Ouija might be in trouble with this one.
Don't do that one.
Paddy the Ouija might be in trouble with this one. Bury Nia Jax. She's got to go back to the performance centre and learn how to improve before she seriously damages somebody. She's already injured. Becky, Kairi Sane twice, Zelina Vega, Ember Moon, Bayley, Charlotte, no doubt a few others. Also, wants to bury most of the SmackDown matches.
That's from the buckle bomb the thing that she done.
No, she flung. Did she flung Kairi Sane into the stairs? Didn't she? The steps, I think.
Right.
Kairi Sane just, for some reason, just fucking launched herself head first straight into them. Cool. For me, it's Kairi Sane's fault. I could be wrong. And wants to put over, but I wouldn't dare to suggest to you, Grado, that was Kairi Sane's, because I know you've been in the ring. You fucking know. I'm going to suggest to you what it's like.
But I'd like you to date because you've put on a show and you've actually tagged with me before. Oh no,
tagged with you. I've actually wrestled.
Aye.
I've wrestled. You know, I have actually wrestled, John. So
he's wrestled, mate.
You know, I've taken a Michinoku driver off Red Lightning in the final main event ever in Kelvin Hall, right? So let's just remember that. Paddy the Ouija wants to put over as well. Good to see decent wrestling matches again. Shorty G versus Cesaro was excellent. So I'd put all them along with the Impact Slammiversary teaser. We'll need to watch that. It'll probably be a one-off due to COVID lockdown as some will move on to Japan, but it has the makings of a good PPV, and that's all you can ask for a promo. You don't get many actual Ouija's corner cell Ouija's, do you? Paddy the Ouija? He must be for Edinburgh, Paddy the Ouija. Aye, that's what I thought.
You just made the list!
This week on our Patreon, we asked for you guys to vote on a list of Wrestling Daft. Now, remember, you can vote for this by signing up for $4 a month at patreon.com/Wrestling Daft, and me and Grado certainly would appreciate you doing that because our industries have shut down. This week, Adam Cole became the longest reigning NXT champion, so it was his best NXT champions, that list, up against the funniest moments in wrestling, that list. As let's face it, there was a bit of shite just now, we wanted to laugh. With 80% of the vote, it was, of course, the funniest moments in wrestling that won it. So I'm going to do my top 3. The tricky one, the reason why this is a tricky one for me was I didn't want to pick anything that was inadvertently funny. I wanted to pick stuff that was planned to be funny for the get-go, right? And unfortunately, you know what? I'm going to bring a new one in, I think. I'm going to bring a new one into the list because the danger is I could pick stuff all run about the one era, right? But I'm not going to do that. So here we go. At number 3. It's a new entry. It's a new entry because it's something that just happened this very year. And it is Chris Jericho cutting a promo on that drone in that empty arena is my number 3. And AEW just recently on Matt Hardy's drone was Vanguard. Is it Vanguard 1?
Vanguard 1.
On Vanguard 1, cutting a promo on it, which is just to see this proud professional wrestler, storied legendary wrestler standing there cutting a promo on a silent drone floating in an arena is just one of the funniest. It's up my street. That's the kind of comedy that's up my street. So that's my number 3. My number 2 for funniest stuff ever in the history of pro wrestling has got to be, we've spoken about it before on this podcast, Big Show's father's funeral.
That was good. That's a good one, by the way.
Big Show's father's funeral. We Big Boss Man turning up with a Blues Brothers car, dragging the coffin away. Big Show jumping on the coffin and sliding about, falling off the coffin. Listen, doesn't get much better than that. It doesn't get much better than that. We have remembered it for years. And my number 1, to put it simply, this is a tricky one. My number 1 funniest stuff I think ever in the history of wrestling, I think it's incredibly underrated, this was Stone Cold Steve Austin's heel run during the Invasion, where him and Kurt Angle with their cowboy hats, where Steve Austin coming out to the ring and everybody singing "You Are the Wind Beneath My Ring" to him and stuff, with the wee bouncing Stone Cold head along with the words. It was an incredible period with Stone Cold hugging Vince McMahon and the camera turning round and Stone Cold just staring like a psychopath into the camera and stuff.
Kurt Angle with the wee cowboy hat. Yippee-ki-yay!
The wee tiny cowboy hat. These were the best, the funniest promos. Every single time it would cut backstage and you had Vince McMahon, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Kurt Angle standing there, you knew that something special was going to be happening. The guys just... Stone Cold Steve Austin is just one of the greatest to ever do it, because the fact that a guy who could go for being this absolute badass babyface to being suddenly this hilariously weird heel. Brilliant. I think the guy's brilliant. So that's my top 3.
Can I tell one that I liked when I was a wee boy when I was 12? It will probably sound shite telling it back now, and I have actually tried to find it on YouTube and I can't do it, but it was during the Invasion era and Perry Saturn had just started to go a wee bit kind of fucking loopy, and he was carrying about that mop. And
Moppy.
Aye, moppy. But it was just at the kind of right at the very start of it. And Paul Heyman was obviously in charge of the alliance, and he pulls Perry aside and he's trying to get him to enjoy the alliance, the invasion, whatever the fuck you call it. And it sounds shit telling about it, but Heyman's getting right in Perry's ear and he's going, "Perry, we need you to join the invasion. Oh, this moppy, forget about it. You are such a great wrestler. You would be so beneficial to be in this team. Invasion are taking over. We want you to join." Perry, and goes on for a good 2 minutes, man. I'm going, where's this gone? So, Perry, what do you think? Will you join the alliance? And Perry goes, "Sausages." One was even I was 12-year-old. I remember when I laugh at it now, but I remember that time going, "That's fucking hilarious." They're just having a serious conversation. And you totally forget that Perry's got this fucking this loopy gimmick and just bang right back at you. Sausages.
Beautiful. Let's see what the punter says. Our patron Derek Donaldson, hi, member of our roster. How you doing, Derek? Says Titus and Neil falling under the ring. However, that was inadvertently funny. So I'm going to call these out here. Nathan McIntosh, Austin emerging out of the dairy section like a milky Terminator when he fought Booker T in a supermarket. One of my favourite segments ever. Fucking brilliant choice. Patron Steve McClellan has one for Rab, Minoru Suzuki versus Mecha Mummy. Their Mecha Mummy flew them away for the woods for an epic showdown involving fishing and appreciating nature. See, I've not seen this. I need to see this. Ended with Suzuki becoming a cyborg if a Suzuki pile drove Mecha Mummy into a river, causing an explosion. See, that's what I want for wrestling.
Hell.
Let me tell you something. I just can't. I've been thinking about this a lot in the downtime, and I'm thinking if we get back to doing live wrestling again, I would love to just promote one show, which is just crazy
Fucked
stuff.
up.
Just crazy stuff.
Yep.
Jordan Michael, the woo-off between Jay Lethal and Ric Flair.
Love that video.
I remember that, yep. George Joyce, it's one that sticks in my mind, was The Rock was in the ring doing a promo and Booker T interrupted and Rock replies, "Who in the blue hell are you?" Genuine LOL moment for me. Rock had a lot of funny promos. Andy Damien Mizdow was always great to watch. Oh my God, and guaranteed to get a chuckle. The whole commitment to that bit was superb. That was brilliant. Let's see if I'd remembered that one, because I thought that was genius, that whole run. Beautiful. Patron Stephen Roche says, "Stone Cold, I can kick your ass backwards." Aye, I think I know what that is.
I don't, but I'm just saying aye.
No, I think I do as well. The one and only Davey Blaze has been in touch and says DX when they had to go under the ring to appear at a midget high court hearing.
Trust Blaze to love that. Pure 2006 DX when they were shite, and that's fucking Blaze's favourite.
Karate Warrior says, "I think it was a 4-way for the WCW title. DDP goes up the turnbuckle to do the pre-match diamond cutter symbol to the crowd, gets a bit too carried away, loses his balance and goes arsehole tip to the outside. 1 second on camera, next second gone. Again, it was accidental. Stu Bro, Kurt Angle with the milk truck. Great stuff. Andy Muirhead, Regal is exceptional when given a comedic performance. Oh God, aye. He's so dry and his mannerisms and timing are perfect. Hands down, my favourite moment was SummerSlam 2007 when he started body popping and Ron Simmons showed up. Yep, which I believe was a segment that involved Crime Time, I'm pretty sure.
That's right.
Mad Andy says, Lewis Girvin doing a pretty impressive dive at the Hydro. A chance of that was shit because a minute earlier Ricochet flipped off the top rope into the crowd.
That's funny.
Patron Westy, our patron, member of the roster, Westy, good man. TNA, when Grado had a feud with Eli Drake and Grado's Mexican cousin, Odarg the Great, turned up. Eli Drake, Grado, what do you make of Eli?
Oh, I loved working Eli Drake, but he's a prick, really. He's a fucking prick, but we had great chemistry, but so up in his own arse. But he's so talented, so talented.
Because he really has been, I think he's been a standout on fuck, you got me seeing TNA all the time. On NWA, he's been a standout.
He's fucking great, man. He's so dedicated to his promos and all that. All he does is work on stuff. He's constantly watching promos, getting wee ideas, but he was great. But I mean, me and him wrestled in a cage. It was Old Daddy Great versus Eli Drake in a cage, and he just was not interested in it at all. But he came back for it, fucking loving it, because the reason why he got put in, he said that it was going to be rotten was because just right before we went out, John Gaburik, big for Tough Enough. Just before we went out, Eli's Jay's music hit, and fucking Big said to Eli Drake, "You deserve a medal for this." And I thought, cheeky fat bastard, I'll fucking show you, you cunt. We fucking did. It was a great match. Fucking prick. You deserve a boot in the balls, Big. Fucking, anyway.
Well, if you want some merch for our lovely podcast, what's your funniest moment ever in the ring, Grado?
In the ring?
It's all funny, isn't it?
Tell you what I was pissing myself at when watching that Undertaker documentary was fucking Kane's mask and hair coming off on that match. That was fucking brilliant, man. Trying to grab the mask and put the mask on. Shawn Michaels fucking punching his trying to hold in his laugh. That was brilliant. But loads of funny great stuff. Santino Marella was great in the ring. I fucking thought he was dead funny.
You should have wrestled him, mate.
We tagged each other in Aberdeen.
But you never wrestled. You never fought.
No. Sometimes it's harder to do the whole fucking comedy versus comedy guy. Sometimes because then it's just a pure, you could have done it. You could have done it. We could have started that if you're doing. These two guys are doing their comedy thing, and then mate, it fucking gets technical. Right. Then the chain wrestling pops out, mate. But you don't want to give
10 minutes of chain wrestling, then it's strong style. Fucking release Germans all over the place. That's the way I would have done it.
That is funny because me and Madman used to do that because everybody knows the comedy guys, and sometimes we would just totally fucking dingy the comedy stuff and get right into serious stuff, and folk would find that funny. Aye. You know what I mean? Rather than that was funner than trying to be funny. Us just fucking wrestling for real. They'd piss themselves at it.
Beautiful. Woo! You can go Wrestling Daft, be sporting your very own Wrestling Daft t-shirt, hoodie, phone cover, trucker cap, or one of our range of Grado-inspired bum bags. Get them at shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft. On there, you'll find designs such as I'm a Mark, I'm a Take a Bum for you, chips and cheese and doner meat, and I'm a wrestler too. And brand new to the merch stall, brand new, you can now get the Alexa versus Grado t-shirt. For episode 25, as Grado asks Alexa, who is Graham Stevely? Remember that? Alexa doesn't know who Graham Stevely is. Is that his name?
If you see who plays Alan in two doors down, it will say Grado Stevely plays, and it's a shortcut. Bye.
Who plays who? Alan?
Aye, so no. Aye,
Alexa, who plays Alan in Two Doors Down?
Alan was played by Grado in the show Two Doors Down. I can learn your voice to improve your
Alexa, shush. Alexa, stop.
Would you like to try?
Alexa, wrap it.
Well done, hen.
So check out our range at shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft now, or check out the links on our Facebook page or Twitter at Wrestling Daft. He's back for a third time. We had to have him back. We love having him here. He's a former.
Who doesn't love a trilogy, eh?
He's a former two-time ICW tag champ, a Revco PCW heavyweight champion, one half of the Kinky Parties, Grado's best pal. Is he your best pal, Grado?
Aye, I'd say he's my
Everyone's
best pal.
Grado's best pal, though.
One of your best pals. One of your best pals. You'll tell me Eugene was your best pal a couple of weeks ago when I was burying Eugene.
You know what? Speaking of Eugene, I'm glad you brought that up. He once left me at a pub to go off to go and share Eugene's room. Next day, he wakes up in bed with. You did remember that, if you can.
Say that again. What did I do? What did I do?
IPW was in a pub, right?
Right.
And you were hanging off Eugene all night, telling him.
Fuck, he was hanging off me. Well, come on, he was just as bad. Be honest.
I called a spade on that. But then I was like, where's Grado gone? Oh, he's went back to Eugene's hotel. You left me in the boozer, mate, to go hang around with Eugene.
Remember that? Right. Do you know what?
Ladies,
I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sha Samuels here, by the way. Sha Samuels. I want to get some good stories.
Can we tell them the Apple story?
The Germany one.
Can we tell the Apple story?
Up to you, mate. Do you want to tell
no, well, I suppose it's. I don't mind saying what I
Tell it.
Everyone does it this day.
Aye. I mean, I never did this, but I was obviously just doing it to impress Eugene, right?
Yeah, that's what makes it funny.
You were doing it to impress Eugene.
Aye, it was.
This is another time Eugene was over. And obviously Eugene's flights got in early. So was Grado. He's travelled down from Scotland. And I think they got there at the same time. They're at the venue for like 1 o'clock. So Grado calls me and goes, "Sha, get here now." The show doesn't start till 7. "Sha, get here now. Get here as soon as you can." So I got there about 2. In the venue, there's only trainees setting up the ring. The promoters there. Where's Grado? He's outside with Eugene. All right, cool. Find him. I'm going, Grado! Then there was these dumpsters, right? There's about 3 or 4 dumpsters. He's done this. Sha! Come here! He's out here by the dumpsters, smoking some weed out of an apple. Just to impress Eugene. It was this! No! With Eugene!
Where did the apples come from?
The venue was next door to a Sainsbury's. Remember that? That big Sainsbury's.
But that actually brings me to another point as well. Remember I got paranoid one night with one of the hotel receptionists because I decided to date again. And
you brought me along for the ride with me next time.
6 o'clock in the morning. And
Sabu was at the hotel.
Sabu was at the hotel, and the receptionist was going, "Oh, did he not say Sabu? That guy,
that American was doing the wacky backy." And Grado's gone, "Is he?" He wants to go, What room's he in? He goes, "I'll deal with it, it's fine." Grado said, No, he's my friend. I'll tell him what to do. I'll tell him he can't do that. Trying to walk. Where is he? And the receptionist wouldn't get him.
But then I got paranoid because I walked in with a bag of apples and I was going, that receptionist's going to know what we're doing. He's going to know what we're up to. You're like, mate, you've just got apples. He's not going to fucking know. I was like, no, hide the apples. Oh.
I remember we talk about, so Eugene, obviously, we spent a lot of time with him in this period. I think it was, end of 2015.
Right.
So we ended up going to Germany with him. We hung about. We had a great time. It was a WXW, wasn't it?
Aye, with Russo as well.
Yeah, Russo, yeah. So it's me, Eugene, Grado. When the Russo on a fucking Ryanair flight, which is funny in itself. I know.
That blew the mind, didn't it? Russo on a Ryanair flight.
But then we're at the hotel, and Eugene's talking to us all night, just about himself, and which was upsetting for Grado because he couldn't talk about himself. But Eugene is just ratting off all these stories. Then he starts all out of nowhere goes this. My match with Triple H was the shits. I've never seen it, right? And it goes going, no, it wasn't. I'm like, the shits. It was my one chance, and I blew it. No, it was good. Tell him, Sha, it was good. I haven't seen it. I've gone, great match. Beautiful sympathy.
Beautiful sympathy.
Fuck off, it was the shits. I've never seen it. There he goes, Sha. So we go outside, he goes, you've never seen it in a match after. I went, I haven't got a clue what he's on about. But, he had a breakdown, bless him.
Hey, come on, we can't say that about Nick.
Oh, I did not break. You know what I mean? It was all about his.
Robert fucking basically buried him 2 weeks ago and said that he's had the worst gimmick of all time and all that. And then
who said that?
Yeah, Rab. He found it offensive.
I didn't just. It's not just about. It's not just today we find that offensive. It's also the thing that was just shite. It was shite. It was a shite run.
I like to when the only tagged with Regal when I did that odd couple gimmick. I thought that was nice. I'm always a big fan of odd couple tag teams. But if he did that gimmick today, it wouldn't fly, would it?
No,
come on.
No, I agree with that. But right, remember the WhatsApp? No WhatsApp. What were they called? What culture? Fucking the owner of that. He had him booked for a Rumble when WhatsApp fucking What Culture ran in Florida, and the guy, the owner of What Culture?
What Culture?
Yeah, What Culture put a fucking thing on it. He says, "Don't be booking Nick Dinsmore. I'm offended. I was offended by that gimmick. Make sure he's not on the card."
Can you know? Were they want him to wrestle as Eugene? No, they want him to wrestle just as Nick Dinsmore. No,
no. But do you actually remember when Dinsmore, when you would read the magazines when you were young, Nick Dinsmore was like the next fucking Benoit.
Yeah.
And then I think that's why all the internet fans went after him, not when he was saddled with that gimmick, because he had that much potential. Because remember, there was like Dinsmore, Randy Orton, fucking Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. He was part of that group, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He just got the fucking kind of mega rough end it. But
I'm sure he made his money from that gimmick. And he's still cashing in, I guess.
He's got it's like when Colt Cabana always talks about he's got the honky tonk man gimmick, you know what I mean? He'll have that all his days and he can go in days fucking Eugene. But where was I going with this?
You love him. You love Eugene. You want to marry him. You want to marry Eugene.
Aye, and we had one of the best matches of all time, the bum bag and a pole match, which made Vince Russo cry. We
need to try and find out actually if that gimmick would fly nowadays. So when wrestling comes back, Grado, you should do a version of that gimmick.
Let's try it. Yeah.
Say you had coronavirus. Your gimmick could be you had coronavirus and it kind of attacked your brain a bit. And then
I don't think. No, I would
see how it goes.
We're saying that some. Half the trainees, like, no,
can't say that, mate. Can't say that.
Oh no.
So how's the injury, Sha? How's it going? You healing up?
I'm healed. I mean, a week before lockdown, they were very optimistic, but that was my last appointment. I was meant to go weekly, and obviously I can't go, but I feel great. I mean, I'm training twice a day.
What is it? What was your injury?
It was a multitude of everything. It was my head.
Aye, that's it. But it's
head was one of them.
But there was a scare, wasn't there? But everything the doctor said to you, look, everything's brand new, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I got a report and said it's all good. The main reason I'm saying this is because it all depends on where I want to end up in employment. Because they're the reason I had to take the injury. I don't if I can talk about it or not.
No, that's fine. I think everybody can put two and two together, but it's not as if you're saying it. You're brand new. You're sorted. But I mean, we're fans on the Daft, Sha. We're fans on the Daft.
I know, but let's put the truth. I don't mind saying I was signed in January WWE, and then because of the injury, they didn't count outside my contract. So, but they said see how you are in 6 months, and then they were looking to maybe re-signing me. But the world broke, so I don't know where I stand.
Yeah.
It's hard to take, but it's one of them things. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, I'm prepared now to have another good run. I'm not even thinking about that. I'm focused on getting back on the indies. I want to have another good indie run. I want to continue doing the thing with Jack Jester and the Kinky Party. I mean, we've got a great idea for me and Grado to do down south that I really want to do. And it's stuff I wouldn't be able to do if I was doing NXT UK. So I've got to be optimistic and positive.
Well, it is. I mean, it is. I think I said to you before, it's a beautiful thing in a sense. The fact that you're missing this time wrestling, but so is everybody else.
Everyone. Yeah.
It's like it's going to be like you've not really been missing that much by the time everything comes back. You know what I mean?
Selfishly, is knowing everyone gets injured, they want that big comeback for their ego. That's one thing I'm not going to get is the big comeback. And you know, I did have a good comeback sorted, which was meant to happen May 8th for Rev Pro. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it because of what's happening in the world. And I think it'd be too far gone to play it off now, what we was going to do. So it's just be like, I'm back. Let's get back to work.
Yeah, Sha, what I've noticed in the last couple of days is with people on my Facebook that are living in America, promoters and stuff, they're starting to advertise shows in America. Like, it looks like shows are going to probably be happening this weekend, more or less.
Well, here's an idea they can do over here. You know, like I've seen like some stand-up places, they limit their audience. So like there's a venue for 400 people. They allow 200 people in. But how they get away with that is do 2 shows. They've got the venue all day. So you do like a 3 p.m. show and a 7 p.m. show. You know what I mean? So they've got the same amount of people they did the one show. They're not really losing much. So wrestling shows, if they can't afford to pay all the talent, do 2 shows.
And then you have to fucking do 2 matches?
No. That's what I'm saying. You do half you do like a 5-match card, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., 2 hours break, then different set of wrestlers. You get what I mean?
Aye.
But do you know what I mean? It could work. It's something to think about. I don't know. Either that or not those.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think I think in America and stuff, you might see a lot of outdoors events over the summer. I think that's probably going to be one of the wise things to get back. Obviously, it's harder in the UK to do an outdoor event just because of weather. But you'll probably see that a lot of that in America. It'd be a nice thing to attempt. It'd be a nice thing to try and attempt a kind of a big British outdoors show. But it's it's going to be tough.
I wonder if ICW are planning on like bringing back shows at some.
Let me tell you something. There is no way that ICW crowd is going to socially distance during the fucking event. There's no way you're keeping the fans 2 meters apart from each other.
Together.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you need a big like say like Kilmarnock at Grand Hall. You could socially distance that. You know, there's a way. There must be a way. It's a big enough.
Set your ass, everybody, basically that kind of idea.
You know what I mean? Tables out. Like, say there's a family of 4 there. Have a table, something. Another family of 4. You know.
Yeah. It's maybe going to have to be seated events. Seated events is maybe going to be a thing. Actually, somewhere like the Pavilion where you do your shows, Grado. I mean, they will find a way of doing it. You know what I mean? Whether it's pulling out a couple of seats or a few seats every.
I mean, I saw a image online. I don't know which theatre it was, but it was the similar layout to the Pavilion, and it was the headline on it was the future of theatre, and it was like 2 seats, 3 seats missing, 2 seats, 3 seats missing, and it looked. It did look. It was heartbreaking, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to adapt it. It's the new normal.
Wrestling needs crowds.
Yeah.
I don't know what everyone's thoughts on wrestling right now, but it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not the same. It is not the
same. Not the same at all. I respect everyone who's working on them shows, working their ass off. Drew is probably going to go down as one of the best champions in history. But as soon as he's got that belt, he's had the most to deal with. Right? Mm-hmm. But he's still putting in performance after performance after performance without a crowd. And Grado, us as wrestlers, we know how painful that must be for him to go through without the adrenaline from the crowd. Right?
Absolutely.
So I think he's dealing with it very well. But as a whole, I reckon wrestling definitely needs a crowd. I mean, they've started putting the trainees at the shows now, haven't they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, which creates a bit of an atmosphere, which is good.
Who did they use in the AEW crowd? Is it all the runners and stuff like that? Is it?
Yeah,
is there a noise?
No, it's other wrestlers and there's crew and stuff like that. There's bodies.
Indie workers.
Yeah.
Does it make a difference?
Yeah, I think it does.
I think the AEW show, I thought was really, really good. The pay-per-view they did.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that. I remember I was saying to you I was watching that.
It's still not the same as having a full crowd, but the difference between silence and like some noise is massive, I think. You know what I mean?
You know, wrestling can be awkward, right? Some people can't trash talk or be convincingly upset. So when there's no crowd to drown out the noise and you're doing stuff in between, like, come on then. You know what I mean?
It would suit you though, Sha. It would suit you though, right?
I reckon, because I'm loud and I can project.
You've always been very verbal in the ring and stuff like that, so it would probably suit you, this style of
reckon it would, yeah.
Definitely would suit you. I would just pop up and go.
It wouldn't suit me blowing out a blow up at my arse.
Fucking hell!
Wrestling definitely does need a crowd. I mean, the whole scene in general is struggling because of the pandemic.
What are you starting to miss? What do you miss?
I miss being around the boys at the weekend.
Do you? Do you really?
I do. I enjoy traveling to. Do you?
No, I miss it as well.
I don't. You know what I mean? But I love traveling up to a show, knowing I'm going to spend 3 days and hang around with different people, have a laugh non-stop, get to do what I love, make some money doing it, see the fans, which is always good, and get to go home after being away for 3 days. And the family come to say, "Oh, you're back. How was it?" Blah blah. I get to rest. I love that whole routine.
I think now I've because you're laughing and saying, "Oh, you don't miss all the boys and stuff like that." Obviously, I play it like I can't be arsed with everybody and stuff like that. But I definitely realised that I have took it for granted now. You know what I mean? I do miss that. I do miss my music. I miss my entrance. I don't miss getting fucking blown up. I don't miss being blown up.
I miss getting beaten up. I miss getting stiff.
Is it nice being less sore all the time?
It is good. It is good. It feels great. I think my body's feeling normal again. But I know as soon as that first bump happens, that first strike, it's going to hurt. It's going to be like the first day of wrestling training again, which is going to be scary.
I've not fucking bumped him in 5 years, but I... Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're not, though. You haven't bumped 5 years, you lazy bastard.
Right, I'm a lazy bastard.
Right. Now's the time. Listen, when the eyes of the world are kind of turned away, the eyes of the world are kind of turned away for wrestling a wee bit, right? So now's a good time, flying under the radar, for me, right? For me to get the full shakedown on what happened with the world of sport thing, because I kind of feel as if a lot of it is still a wee bit mysterious, and a lot of it, I'm a bit confused about a lot of it, because it was a thing that was happening, and then it wasn't happening, and then it was happening again. It happened in a big way, and then it wasn't happening again. No, it's time for you boys to open up, right? What happened? What is the story with the world of sport thing?
This is my opinion of what happened. I believe the people in charge.
No, but let them know for the first time that I contacted you. You remember when I first contacted you? I went into a meeting in
July 2016. July 2016. Yeah, I was at my butcher shop serving a customer. Phone call. Great. It says Grado's ringing me. So he never rings me. He texts. He barely rings me. See what's happening. I'm at my butcher shop, stinking of meat. He rings me, and he tells me I'm at a meeting with ITV. They're going to do wrestling, bring wrestling back, and they want me to kind of help get the talent involved. And they showed him a video. He's telling me all this stuff. They showed him a video, what the production's going to be like, a build-up video with like the World of Sport guys, Big Daddy and all that. And he wanted you to tell, be in charge of talent, pretty much. Who would you recommend? So he's told me all that. He goes, and you will be there. And I was like, yeah, all right, bullshit. You know what I mean? It's very jaded in wrestling, I don't believe it. But he was saying that, no, trust me, I'm going to tell him what guys to use. Tell me who do you think we should use, and I'll just make a note of that. And then with the guys I want to use. So he asked my opinion on guys. And I'm sure he asked other people their opinion on guys. And he was pretty much the guy that started it, Grado. But when he told me that in July, right, I'm not joking, it was the biggest bunch of bullshit. Like, not because I don't trust you.
Does you really?
Yeah. Well, come on. Someone rings you up. You're in your butcher shop. The next thing you know, you're going to be on ITV wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Wrestling's been away for 30-odd years, 40 years, whatever.
Yeah, and telly people talk shit all the time.
Maybe that this is a production company that's serious about it. They might run a show, but I can't see it being on ITV.
Yep.
That is in my head thinking that is bullshit. You get what I mean?
Yep.
Right. So, but then I'm not joking. I think it was in August. We got a contact, I got an email. So someone came to me from ITV. End of August or something.
Aye, because we recorded.
Spam folder first of all.
Aye.
You rang me up and said I got an email from. Check your email. Check your spam folder. Well, I did. A guy called Aaron Brown emailed me all this stuff. And he wants to sort out. Was it August? It might be September because it wasn't far from when we filmed. And then I didn't know who else they wrote. So he said, come to Manchester, have a meeting with the producers and everything. Oh, fuck. All right. So I went down there. Obviously, I've checked, the visitors log. So signing my name in, checked who else is there. I was like, he's shit. He shouldn't be on this. Thankfully, they weren't part of the show. But I'm like, so I've seen the names and think, this is going to be obviously an interview.
Yeah.
Anxiety kicked in, shitting myself. I'm at the fucking ITV studios, this, that, and the other. He's telling me, it's fine, don't worry about it. But he's been around this kind of stuff all the time. At the meeting, they told us all this stuff they had planned. And to be honest, it sounded amazing. It started off as it was going to be a pilot. New Year's Eve, they want to get the essence of what World of Sport was, because it's a brand that they've had for all these buzzwords like brand, this, that, and the other. They're offering. It's a brand they want to rebuild and really pay homage to the past as well as create stars for the future. And if the pilot goes well, we'll be doing this a series. And the dream is not just one series; it's every weekend. They wanted to be gladiators. They wanted us to be on action figures, game, lunchboxes. That was all the plan was. Because the guy in charge was, what's his name? Jeremy Carr.
Tom, he was the creator of Jeremy Kyle and Judge Rinder.
Ninja Warrior.
Aye, so it was all the kind of stuff. And
Grado was the only guy out of the wrestlers, and I was the only one who knew this, who had contact with Tom. So we've had this meeting. I'm not every day I'm texting this guy. What's Tom saying? Is this happening? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, we get told to keep it a secret. And they managed to get 16 wrestlers, British wrestlers, to keep a secret for a month and a half. Which was a big achievement. No one told anyone, right? This is where problems happened amongst the boys, in my opinion, of everyone else, boys and girls on the scene, was we would get told, and then they get ready to announce, we get announced that they announced the pilot, and they announced that it's going to be on ITV on New Year's Eve. And then our names will get announced, and everyone's like, I thought we were friends. You couldn't tell me that?
Yeah.
Pass my details. So we're getting all this. Why didn't you tell me? You pass my details on. Or what about me? Mate, we haven't even filmed it yet. Let us film it. Let it be good. If it's good, we get a series, then you'll get your chance. You know what I mean? So,
I say as well, but also like it was hard as well for me because people were finding out that I was kind of the middleman between Tom and the wrestlers, and obviously I had gave a big list of wrestlers, but there was also some of the wrestlers that ITV looked up and looked at history or whatever, and had reasons that they didn't want to book them.
Yep.
Aye. So, and I didn't want to turn around and tell them, look, they don't want you.
And here's why they don't want you. Yep.
Aye, do you know what I mean? So it was hard for me as well. So I had to fucking sort of kayfabe a lot of it that I wasn't. I don't know, mate. I'm just like you and stuff like that, which in hindsight felt fucking terrible.
It on you because I can see your face.
I was stressed out, man. I was totally stressed out about it. I had
always calling you.
The most random wrestlers contacting me. Obviously, there was my pals and stuff like that, which I honestly felt terrible about. But they obviously had decided not to use them for one reason or whatever. But I mean, I was getting every wrestler underdog messaging me every day. Can you get me on this show?
And it's ruining your experience as well, right?
That's one of the reasons why I never answer my phone anymore.
Right, because ITV, right, I'm showing wrestling. We're the people, not saying, like, our generation's brought it back onto ITV. That is a huge achievement. And we can't enjoy it because everyone's trying to get a piece. Like, let us enjoy the achievement the 16 people have done. Yep. He's getting it worse than everyone. Like, get me on. Here's my pictures. Here's my CVs. And what's he meant? He can't say, like, they don't want you, mate. You know?
And Sha, you were quite prominent in the kind of promo and the run up to it as well, weren't you? I mean, you did you do some morning TV and stuff like that?
I did, yeah. I did GM, Good Morning Britain. They wanted Grado for that. But he couldn't do it. It was Panto, weren't it?
Pantomime, aye. And I was fucking gutted because I was promised Piers Morgan and all that, and I had Piers Morgan in my head and all that shit. What I could do with him and stuff like that, but I had pantomime, and there was no way that Ian was letting me go to it. But I was like, you need to get shot. You need to get shot to fucking get down there.
He was putting me forward for it anyway, but they put a lot of people that should not have been doing it. They put a couple of people on. I don't want to name names, right? But they put a couple of people on this morning.
Only was enough to.
Huh?
Who was it, Grado?
Was it like Ed Zach?
No, not them two. They were me. That was fine. The people on This Morning.
Oh, right.
The week before.
See, you nailed the GMTV one. The GMTV one was great, but there was a couple of troops that went on this morning, and obviously it's an intimidating situation, but it got that, they kind of played it too real, the
ring is my tempo.
The ring is my tempo and all this.
I want you to be full from gladiators. I don't want you to be fucking.
Yeah.
And they were,
they were trying to, keep it, I'm the wrestler and all that. And I'm like, fucking show a bit of personality, man. Go for it.
When you were on GMTV, there was quite a lot of people who were kind of like quite a lot of people online and stuff who were kind of like, this is probably going to be shite. After they saw you on GMTV, I remember them going, hey, that was cracking that bit. Because you smashed that segment on that.
I appreciate it. It was him, because I was nervous. I've never done national TV in that sense live. So he goes to me, Sha, be loud, be proud, start making jokes with the camera people, high five people, and you'll get your confidence. And then when you go on screen, you'll be untouchable. He goes, that's the best thing. So I got in there, and I was loud with the camera guys, high five, say hello to the makeup ladies. You all right, girl? How are you? Good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Touch up my face. Hey, dirty girl. All that kind of stuff. And then did that, like sort of diversity with their plugging their butlins tour, right? Oh, I know he's not. I love Britain's Got Talent. How are ya? Get a picture in a bit. And that filled me with confidence. And then they came in and said, "Well, this is what we want to do." I was like, "Look, I'm not gonna play it. I want to be me. I want to be now.
Yep.
Thinking, I won't swear." And I started getting a fight with a weatherman off camera, which was good. It was good. It was a good environment. I really enjoyed it. But it's all just being loud and obnoxious and taking it. When you believe in what you're doing is real, it's going to come across that way.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you come on TV. Oh, I'm a wrestler. And I was just try to try my best. That's not going to make you be.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Hopefully, it will be good.
You get there and give it 110%.
Yeah.
So
who was it? Who was it that was on that other? Who was that? Who was in the other promo stuff? Who was it? Grado.
I'm not burying them.
I don't want to make names in case they listen. They work in better places than I do right now.
So we can't say it. But there was just some folk, like it was our character to be loud and stuff like that. And she, honestly, the ring's my tempo, And it was all this trying to get angry with the presenter because the presenter's asking questions like, isn't this all just kid on and stuff like that? No, I can show you my moves right now. Kind of like all that stuff. Grab the hoodie, they should fucking grab the kind with the scruff of the neck and stuff. Like, come on now, you want me to show you about wrestling? They will just still, and I just remember watching God fucking they got absolutely horsed online, didn't it? That one got absolutely horsed.
When wrestling's on social media, the only people watching it are wrestling fans.
Correct.
When the general public have access to a Facebook clip, a tweet, and they start commenting on it, that's the abuse you're gonna get. You've got to be thick-skinned for that.
Aye.
It's all good having a good match. I made a 4-star match, but when the general public starts slating you, that's when you got a problem. That's when you lose your confidence.
Yeah.
You have nothing to do with wrestling.
So the New Year's Eve show happened, right? New Year's Eve.
I'll be honest, we filmed it, right? So we filmed it.
GR, brilliant.
One of the best experiences of my life. Media City in Manchester. The way it was set up. The food, the runners, everyone looked up. We felt like stars. Jim Ross was popping in, giving us a pep talk. Jim Ross gave the best pep talk I've ever had in my life. How good was that pep talk? Jim Ross did, Grado.
It was great.
Great.
He was brilliant. I can't remember.
What did they say? Do you remember?
Your lockups have to be real. You have to believe here. I know it says believe here, but you have to believe here. Lockups have to be real. Every strike has to be real. You got millions of people watching you out there. And this is your one shot. I can't do his accent. But all that kind of carry on. And it was, your heart's going. And then suddenly it goes, the first match is on. You're all like, ah! fucking, let's do it.
Aye.
Screaming.
And
Right.
fear fucks to JR, by the way, because somebody actually wished me a happy birthday on Instagram. They tagged a video of me beating Dave Massive, and fair fucks to JR, man. He never phoned it in with that commentary. It was, it's a cutter, it's a cutter, it's a cutter. Grado has won, oh my God. You know, he'd fucking hit all his catchphrases and stuff like this. He was a great commentator. So then it
was over 2 days. I will say, I've got a funny Jim Ross, right? So he's we're doing over 2 days. The first day was rehearsals, entrance timings, all that. But Jim Ross is on commentary throughout it all. So we're going through stuff, what we're doing in the show.
That's what we're only comfortable about, when we know a lot of the wrestlers, because the ITV wanted the wrestlers to choreograph their match and do it in front of the cameras exactly bit by bit what they were going to do, and that just can't happen.
Yeah.
It just can't happen. You need to feel the crowd. So, you know, we had wrestlers in there trying to do the match that they were going to do, and, you know, and then they're right, cut, right, take it back, reset, bam, bam, bam. And JR's sitting out there, crab it, because he's there. He's just come off a plane. He's fucking, he's watching all ears rolling about the ring like a pair of fannies. And he's having to rehearse commentary, so it didn't get off the best start with that one, didn't he? No,
he didn't. And they didn't give him his proper chair. They gave him his shitty chair to sit on for was it hours just to do the run through of his commentary. Mm-hmm. But this was the thing was, because whatever match was rehearsing in the ring, he was on commentary, but his commentary was on that we could hear it in the green room.
Wow.
And there was some gold coming out of his mouth.
He was bidding folk. Fucking.
Was he?
That was great. All the boys could hear it, and the boys would come back. How was it? What did JR say? He loved it, mate.
He loved it, mate. He loved it. And I'm like, I'm about to pull him aside. I was, great. What did he really say? I can take it. I didn't hear it, mate. I didn't hear it. Shut up, you liar. No, it was. You hear him groan as well. So they're planning a spot that to him doesn't make sense, and he goes. Gonna be one of them nights. It's gonna be one of them nights.
Beautiful. But the show went off so well, didn't it?
It did. We got 1.6 million, right? Now you put that in context, right? ITV maybe not so much, but in wrestling context, that's more fire rates than WrestleMania. That's NXT and AEW. They're getting that combined weekly for our country in America. We beat that in the pilot.
Yeah.
So we're getting told this is gonna happen. And obviously, after it's aired, they're all happy and stuff. Then we get called in March that Impact Wrestling is going to be part of it.
So I can take this.
Right now, how did this happen? How did
this happen?
Get involved?
We're going to work for Impact, so he can take it.
Well, at this point, my visa had expired, right? And it was somebody at TNA that had gave me the advice to say, look, why don't you act as a middleman between what? See, I don't want to say that I was the fucking right now. Here is the God's honest truth. Here's the God's honest truth, right? Tom was in contact with me back and forth every day. It eventually stopped, right? And
has contact stopped?
Aye, me and him, it stopped. The contact stopped, right? And Tom had eventually texted me back like 2 weeks later, and he says, "Look, you're going to be happy." He goes, "Look, we need the money from this company to run the show. We need somebody to come in and promote it." And he says, "I can't say who just now, but you will be happy." So. Then I found out for somebody in TNA that Jarrett has contacted World of Sport and offered these services. And I think Tom was looking for some sort of funding anyway off ITV to go with the series. So then somebody had told me, look, you should do the whole I scrub your back, you scrub my back type ideal. I remember I was driving back from Aberdeen, and Jeff Jarrett phoned me and he says, look, I've put a deal for ITV. I've offered him a deal. He was like, can you put me over? Type idea. And so, I was like, well, can you get me another contract with Impact? And he says, don't even worry about that. That's sorted. So then I started to act as a middleman between Tom and Jeff Jarrett. And the idea initially was to be that Jeff would get involved and run a show. And there was the only talk Impact had been involved was they would get the footage, right? It wouldn't be a TNA show. There wouldn't be TNA wrestlers on it. They would just acquire the footage. But then as months started to go by, it started to be there's going to be 2 or 3 Impact wrestlers.
But was there a money said did Jeff Jarrett put money into it, or was it purely?
They were going to put in so much percentage into the tapings, you know, to maybe to like fund the 3 days taping, and they would get the footage here and merchandise and stuff like this. That's what they were talking about. But then it got to the point where ITV announced that we were going to be running in Preston, weren't we?
3 days in Preston.
3 days in Preston.
But it was paid shows, so it was taken out of the studio, which was really good, which we all liked. Wow. That was when the first alarm bells went off, when it was like, it's 3 days in Preston, which you want people to pay, which is 1,400 seat venue for British wrestling. Very hard sell. So that's, it could be empty. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Aye. So then I started to hear wee rumblings that TNA were going to have more involvement in terms of talent, and I just, as soon as that happened, I went, oh my God, because at this point...
By the wrestling, at that point, Impact, no disrespect, Grado, I know you worked there at the time, wasn't perceived as it wasn't cool.
It was going down, mate. It was Jeff Jarrett who just took them over. He had fired everybody. Angle was away. Matt Hardy was just about to go away. You know, there was your Dreamers, your Brodus Clays, all these guys. They were all they had all been ran out of town, and it was kind of his GWF. Aye, that's right. Yeah. But he's always on this global wrestling force mob. He was starting to book because obviously it was cheaper for Jeff.
You had the Noah, didn't you?
Aye, you had all these folk. And then I can always remember, you know, one night there was a tweet, Impact are going to be involved. And I think like the first wrestler they announced was Bobby Lashley, which are like, fair enough, right? Bobby Lashley, no bad. Again, we wanted it to be British, right? We wanted it to be British, but then we're opening up ideas to, right, it's going to be Britain versus America, right? But then I'm thinking to myself, I'm the champ. How the fuck can I go against Bobby Lashley? Do you know what I mean? Like, how the fuck is that going to be?
First, it was a press conference, though, right? So we had the press before they announced Bobby Lashley, right? We had the press conference where they announced the series, and we all turned up, and this is what set the tone and made us all feel like bodies, right? We're doing the press conference, and you could see there was animosity between Jarrett and some of the producers at ITV. I don't think you mind me saying this. So, you know, when Jarrett's trying to produce the segment where we're doing the pull apart and the press conference, and then you got who's not Tom? Simon. Was it Simon? The other one. Butlins, Evan, love him. That's Simon, yeah?
He's just a man in bunts.
Yeah.
There was one wrestler that I recommended, and I said, look, he's really good, he can go. He's a top athlete, he's been doing it for years, and he just went, I'm sorry, Grado, but he's just a man in bunts.
So he's obviously, I get this, that Simon doesn't like Jeff Jarrett. Did you get that impression at the press conference? Because he's saying, we're not allowed to punch in World of Sport. No head strikes.
Yeah.
Primetime TV. So Jarrett's going, and you punch this guy here, you punch him there, you punch yourself there. And then Simon's like, excuse me, they can't punch. Then all that here, they can't punch. Someone didn't tell him they can't punch. And Jarrett's like, all right, sorry. Yeah.
That's right.
Can't throw a punch, apparently. You know, and all this. I was like, is there some heat there? Because this is weird. So we're getting told, and we're all paraded out for this press conference, and Jerry Borash was doing answering the questions from the press and the audience. And again, it seemed like this is going to be good. Then they announced Bobby Lashley. It's going to be good. I'll let you
but also, Nick Aldis was at that press conference as well, and that kind of, I mean, we all love Nick. Nick's great, but we were just like, what's he doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, he wasn't in his
before the NWA title or anything like that.
We were all being told to put in our wrestling gear, and he refused. So straight away, that's set a bit of a...
Aye.
You know,
so he's looking cool. He's looking cool as a cat in his fucking three-piece suit, and, you know, cunts are walking about with fucking gimp masks on, and, you know, their bellies hanging out and stuff like that. We kind of was like, come on, man.
I'm not joking. So I announced Bobby Lashley, which is good. I don't know how to...
So it felt like a kind of us and them thing.
Aye.
We could have played off that. It could have been a good story. America versus UK. We could have played off that. They filmed vignettes for all of us. We sat down and spoke with the TV guys. They made little packages for us. Yep. It's all going. They announced Bobby Lashley is coming to WRS.
And the straw that brought the camel's back, you know.
Well, it was Congo Kong is coming to Impact Wrestling. Coming to ITV. Coming to ITV. Kong, I was like this. I'm not joking. Text you. I went, this is fucked. This is fucked. 2 days later, cancelled. No, not cancelled, postponed. All the guys that are on that, more or less in a bit of a depression, right? Well, not obviously, don't want to make light of that, but we're sad, we're down. So we've all backed WOS. What's happening while WOS is doing this series of Impact? WWE UK's just started. They just crowned Tyler Bate as the champion. Him and Pete Dunne have tore the house down at NXT UK. They just announced some tapings. They're doing more WWE UK stuff. And we committed to WOS, whereas when we're watching, which at the time, the guys at WOS were considered the A team in the UK.
Yep.
And we're watching all the other guys. We're all getting forgotten about now. The guys on WWE UK are all up here, legit turning to stars. WWE have made them stars. So that was hard to take. Nothing in the horizon. Then from there, What Culture cancelled 10 shows. 5-Star Wrestling started cancelling shows. It was in the same meeting. That summer, I lost so much money from wrestling. A lot of us wanted to quit. But then what happened with A Glimmer of Hope?
But why did the postponement happen? Why did that initial postponement happen? Was it because of the WWE making moves in the UK?
No, it just completely broke.
Impact. It was Impact.
It broke down with Impact and ITV.
Right.
It was like Jeff was like, look.
Which
The relationship collapsed.
Their relationship clashed on money.
We found out from Tom. Tom said, look, I had to pull the plug when I did, because if I didn't, there might have been not another series. This would have been one and done, whereas you want to have potential to have a few more.
Yeah.
Right? So they pulled the plug, and then we didn't know what was going on. We thought dead. Then obviously behind the scenes, they're trying to get the money sorted for another series. I always used to say to Grado, text Tom. It's been 2 months. And you stay in contact with him, didn't you?
Yep, aye.
Yeah, and then the next thing you know, with like 3 weeks' notice, we get a call, we get an email saying the series is happening in May. We're filming in May 2018. So it's just under a year of being upset, bitter, angry that something that could have been so good wasn't happening.
But also at the same time we're depressed, but at the same time we had that kind of feeling in the back of our minds, look, it's going to happen, don't worry. We're going to get on ITV. It's going to be an absolute hit.
Well, when did the first talk happen? When did you get that phone call for Grado again, Sha?
Middle of 2016, wasn't it?
It was the first phone call, July 2016.
July 2016, and then you were filming the series in May 2018. Is that right?
Aye.
We did the pilot. We filmed the pilot in November.
Well,
weirdly, it's probably kind of standard for telly stuff.
Like,
that's what I always used to say to Sha, and that's what I always used to say to the wrestlers. I'd go, look.
I understand that, but because I'm close with Grado, all the boys, all the girls who are part of the show are telling me what's the deal with Grado. So it's I now know that TV, it takes a long time to get a series on board, right? But to us, it's wrestling. We're seeing, like I said, NXT UK is just skyrocketed like that.
Yeah, and was the World of Sport contract was it structured so that you couldn't perform on a WWE show? Was it an exclusive deal?
Exclusive deal.
I think
we could wrestle on indies, but this is the thing. The contracts originally stated that we had to get changed. You couldn't run shows with more than 1,000 people. I was like, no, that has to change because British wrestling is good right now.
Yeah.
And you're giving me a lump sum for a series.
But weirdly, I mean, that's a TV show. I mean, that's quite unprecedented, really, when in terms of TV contracts that they would write anything like that in a TV contract. You know what I mean? You couldn't, like, if you were on EastEnders, where they would tell you, well, you can't be in any other telly program. You know what I mean? Or it's.
I mean, I had to get my agent to sort out because it said in my contract, look, you can't perform on BBC, you can't perform on Channel 4. And I says, look, you know, I've got a fucking TV show on BBC, blah, blah, blah. But Tom always just, you don't worry about it. I don't know whether that just came for the mega head folk and they just wanted to make sure that nobody done the show then straight away done like fucking Snog, Marry, Avoid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or Come Dine With Me or something like that. I think that was the kind of issue with
Crime
that.
Watch.
I think some of them did.
But then this really got interesting is when we finally did the series. They obviously wanted the original crew back who did the pilot.
Yep.
As soon as they started interviewing people again, I went up there for another meeting. And I said straight away, this is something I've wanted because me and Grado have wanted this for years. Like since they told us we wanted it. One series. If they give us this one series, who knows what's going to happen? So I'm committed, very much committed to doing this one series. So I signed pretty much straight away. I was like, I'm doing it. But then, like, all the guys that were on the original got signed by NXT. NXT UK started signing everyone. Then they started signing the guys that even they had interviewing just in passing. They signed a lot of the guys as far as I'm aware.
The Coffees who were meant to be on it, Kenny Williams.
Kenny Williams.
They tried to get Rampage Brown. Rampage Brown was I mean, he went nah. He knocked WWE back.
He knocked
WWE back to do the World of Sport thing.
I always think this is my theory.
But it did go. Sorry, Sha, keep butting in, but it did get to the point where it was like, fuck, who's left? Right
we
before
we had to come up with contingency rosters. Remember that? Maybe we can get him to replace him. Because they needed to have a definite roster in like a 3-day period. It all happened so quick. But this is the thing, is right. This is my.
Did it feel like? Did it feel for you that the WWE had seen what was happening with World of Sport and had accelerated what they were doing with WWE UK and NXT UK? Did it feel like that?
I reckon the plan was always they're gonna do this everywhere. They're gonna their brand of wrestling will be everywhere, and I think that has always been their goal.
But they definitely seem to start moving faster when World of Sport happened.
Yeah, I reckon that is the case. That's not bad. I don't blame them. It's smart business on their part.
Yeah,
but it was drastic being on the other side and seeing, because we all became friends during that pilot and we're all close, and a lot of us do ICW that are on that pilot. We all did it. So we're all very close. Yeah. And we lost. I mean,
look at JR. Look at JR. They signed JR to a contract to stop him from doing World of Sport.
So we remember, this is going back to 2017. They've announced the deal with him. The Impact, the series is coming. JR gets a job
straight away.
In 2017.
Like 2 weeks later, he was in WWE UK commentating, wasn't
he? Yeah.
You just offered him a guarantee. Yeah. It was crazy. But I mean, it's crazy, but it's totally understandable.
WWE, don't it? Textbook WWE.
Textbook WWE. But I mean, we all, before the series, so we've done the series, and we actually thought to ourselves, the very last day of the tapings, they had been working behind scenes. We had been getting footage, like people doing their workouts.
Oh, we filmed so much stuff.
This gritty stuff, man. This gritty footage, and they showed like a preview video on the last day, and we couldn't have been any more pumped, because if you go back and watch it, rather, but it is a fucking screamer.
I illegally filmed it on my phone. They said no phone. I'm not going to show anyone, so I took it on my phone and filmed it. But you got all the roster watching it on the big screen. So it's like a Comic Con or something. They're not the end all going, yes, fucking all cheering. It's a beautiful video. I mean, I'd love to share it, but I don't know what to. I would, but wasn't it like that? The atmosphere.
It was brilliant. We were just so pumped.
And then again, I reckon it is a case of television people doing a wrestling show instead of wrestling people doing a television show.
Well, that was exactly it, because we knew right for the first episode that they done, it was like watching it on a fucking speedboat. Like the camera flashing to the crowd and just the wavy cameras, and there was a couple of cool shots. They had a couple of like cameras in the buckle. They had cameras above the ring.
You remember this? So a lot of good all the matches got cut. So the heels, right? I know we can say this kind of stuff when it's a wrestling podcast. The heels couldn't give heat to the baby faces because that is too one-sided. So all the heats in all the matches were cut. So straight away, all the edited you get a strike, and that's a heat. Pan to the crowd. Then stalking the opponent. Pan to the crowd. Another strike, then a little you could never get the full match going because they had to cut the heat out. You had to cut strikes to the head out. Yeah. When they're on the floor, you can't attack them. This is all stuff that you can't put on ITV, apparently. So why put on a wrestling show? Or give us the list of rules and we'll work around it for you.
Yeah.
And I mean,
every week, every Sunday morning, man, it was like
I hated, I was embarrassed. Like, I'm proud of what I've done. We're proud of what we achieved. Proud of the show, but it was fucking horrible. The abuse it was getting. But I mean, that was. I mean, wrestling fans hated it, and the punters just never watched it. I just didn't believe it was like. It's hard now for children to be in a house at 5 p.m. on a Saturday night. When's they're more interested in their iPads and watching, was it Oni and Elsa, the fucking two Barbie doll things and all this carry on? You know, people unpackaging fucking Christmas presents. That's what the Waynes love to watch now. It's hard, that kind of...
era when
on
Wayne's
average,
watched the
though.
telly at 5 p.m. That's all away now. But I mean, every week the ratings would just go down and down and down. But at the same time, the content of the show just got
across
worse.
the board, they got on iPlayer. They did well.
I know
They did well.
it's still done compared to the numbers.
A million a week across both platforms.
I think the lowest we got, what was it? Maybe about 800,000 or something like that.
Yeah, 800,000 lowest. And what was NXT's ratings this week in America?
Aye,
600.
exactly. Do you know what I mean?
Everyone's doing this.
And so, what did they say at the end of the series? Like, how did they say we might come back, or did they kind of go?
We had the tour. That's right.
The tour was amazing.
It was like I'll tell you one thing about World of Sport, right? WS, right? We watched the show. The series we were only thrilled with, right? But I'll tell you something, right? We done that tour, and we showed up to the first night. I can't remember what was the first night. Sha, was it Plymouth or something like that? No,
Southampton.
Southampton.
Guildhalls.
The place was packed, Rab. The place was absolutely packed. And you want to know what? See the fans. They knew every wrestler and other gimmicks in the ring. We thought nobody's watched this. They're not going to know Hoffy's. They knew Crater's gimmick. They knew Sha's gimmick. They know, you know what I mean? They just... Aye. There was an audience that watched it. There was Wayne's, and we'd done the meet and greets after the show, and you'd get families that go, "Oh,
you felt like stars. You did feel like stars."
My boy hasn't he taken this off the planner. He loves it. He thinks these are all great, and that was really an eye opener because obviously we were used to getting the shit online after wrestling fans, but you're forgetting that
it's a tiny proportion. It's that thing in it. It's like what you read online is a tiny, and really unbelievably tiny proportion of the full audience that watches something.
This when we realised, well, so what me and Grado were having a cigarette outside the back as we do at shows. Then we see a family, two families walking down, and sorry just to bother you, sir. Can we get a picture? We're huge fans, and we're like this. Fuck. You know what I mean? The realisation that we can't be smoking out the back. If this,
I'll tell you something. Thank God they weren't walking by when you were crouching down behind a bin with an apple. Listen, boys, we're going to have to wrap up this interview. It's been brilliant. So the tour happened, but was there a final moment where you knew, oh, that's it? It's definitely
no. We're still waiting the series.
The final straw is when they ITV put AEW on the TV.
That was that.
Because one thing I was saving on for is right. They turned up to the Blackpool show on the tour. We had nearly 2,000 people there. It looked better than NXT TakeOver Blackpool. Looked better than that. Looked amazing. Crowd, the family, everything was noisy. Beautiful atmosphere. The executives saw that. But we might have a chance, a slim chance they might do another series. Then they put AEW on the TV. And so it was like, nah, they're not going to. Then why would they waste money when AEW are giving them this footage for free?
Yeah,
so, makes no sense.
Well, mate, Sha, you've done a good job at explaining that there. I could have never have done that myself.
I mean,
well, listen, that's what we're talking about. That's a brilliant interview because I think that's the first time anybody has probably heard a good, full, thorough story about how the World of Sport thing happened. I think it's important.
I'm going to lie to you. It bothers me. I'm bothered in the way that I feel like I can never publicly be proud of what we achieve. I keep saying this. ITV, British Wrestling on ITV is an institution in this country, right? Generations know about it, and we got it back. Yeah. We can never put a picture on Instagram or tweet us how proud we are because we will get slagged off and slated for it.
So true.
And it's one thing where I'm proud of. I wish it ended up better, but
I genuinely think it's not just about that. I genuinely think you gave WWE a fright. I genuinely think you gave them a fright when you did that. You know? I think that's something, the fact that this massive organisation saw this and went, we need to move now. You know what I mean? Is something in itself. You know what I mean?
I'm sure a lot of the guys that work there, can't be naive enough to know that. Maybe it wasn't the entire reason because WWE always had this plan to go in all these other markets.
Yeah.
But they cannot sit there and say that the fact that World of Sport coming back to ITV was a little spark of a match.
Definitely. That spark a match. We spoke to guys in WWE that said, look, WWE are fucking the wheels are in motion right now. They've heard the whistles. Even before the pilot was announced, they knew that we were in talks to get wrestling back on TV. There was stooges gone back to WWE. There was people that worked in ITV that had contacts in America, and they were saying, look, this is what's happening in the UK, and they would just put the they put the fucking brake down, the gas down, maybe say. Pedal down.
Sha, thanks so much for coming on. It's your third appearance.
Thanks for having me again. I can't wait for round 4.
Yeah, you'll be back for round 4 because we've still got loads of stuff to cover with you. But that was beautiful to hear that story, man. That was brilliant to hear that.
Thank you very much.
Thanks
for having me.
so much, Sha. So all we need to do now is decide who our listener of the week is, Grado. Our listener of the week is going to be...
I think Lungy, the guy with the giant haystack story.
The guy who get hit in the head with a giant haystack lollipop.
Aye.
Because that's a belt. Get the belt on him. Get the strap on Lungy.
Get the belt on the biggie in this
Get
week,
the strap on Lungy. Remember, we now go twice a week. So you can catch us on a Friday, me and Grado, and the Marks podcast on a Tuesday, who this week we got a couple of questions in with the champ himself, Drew McIntyre. Remember, it's a review, rate us, subscribe on Apple, or get us on wherever you get your podcasts. Grado knows all about Apples. Also, remember to get on our Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Daft, to check out the video version. Why not buy yourself a t-shirt, shop.spreadshirt.co.uk/Wrestling Daft. This is me and Grado's bread and butter. I need to sell this merch. So, Grado, what's your plans for the rest of the week? Work? Working, doing radio. I've got to film an advert for somebody out my back door for something, so that'll tie me up. What about yourself? Doing a wee bit of writing, a wee spot of writing, and just a wee bit of going to be painting a bedroom as well. So suddenly somebody's talking to John here or something.
Sorry, a small child was running into the room and stole my wallet. Finlay!
Stole your wallet?
Yeah, what you don't. What do you know? No, you don't. It's not a library card. It's a credit
Take his
card.
money. Take his money, wee man.
Take his money, wee man.
Take all his money.
It's not a library card. It's a credit card. Right, Finlay, go.
Go to the library.
Write it down. Go. You're ruining the podcast. Go.
Thanks for listening to the show, everybody. It's a beautiful wee family moment to end on. He's such a sweet guy, John.
Beautiful.
Right, up yourself. It's yourself.
Up yourself, aye.
Up the road.
Up the road.
It's yourself. It's yourself. Listen, I'll send you a picture of that award, right?
Aye. Fucking get out of here. See you later, trips.
Audio Frontier.